Imagine a car that was never meant to be a luxury icon, but somehow became a legend. A car that felt more at home in a gravel pit than a suburban driveway. But today, that legend is under fire. Critics say it's lost its soul. They say the plastic cladding and the lack of a modern STI badge mean the era of the WRX is dead. Wrong. Today, we're looking at why the Subaru WRX, even in 2026, is still the most real car you can buy for the money. We're diving into the history, the heartbreak of the head gaskets, and the truth about why this rumble still matters. To understand the WRX, you have to go back to 1992. Subaru wasn't the giant they are now. They were the quirky Japanese brand making farm cars. They needed a win. So they took a humble compact called the Impreza, stuffed it with a turbocharged boxer engine, and gave it a name that sounded like a secret experiment. WRX, World Rally Experimental. But here's the problem. Nobody thought a weird flat-4 engine could survive the brutal World Rally Championship. The competition was fierce. Lancia, Ford, and Mitsubishi were already there, and they weren't planning on sharing the podium. Subaru was the underdog, fighting gravity with a low-slung engine and a dream of grip. Then came Colin McRae. In 1995, the blue and gold Subaru didn't just compete, it dominated. It proved that symmetrical all-wheel drive wasn't just a marketing buzzword, it was a weapon. That victory didn't just give Subaru a trophy, it gave birth to a cult. Suddenly, every kid with a driver's license wanted a piece of that rally DNA in their driveway. If you're a fan, you know the code. Bug-Eye, Blob-Eye, Hawkeye. These weren't just nicknames, they were the faces of a generation. In the early 2000s, the WRX finally landed on American shores, and it changed the car scene forever. You didn't need $100,000 for performance anymore. You just needed a WRX and a dream. But Subaru couldn't leave well alone. Every time they changed the headlights, the fan base went into a total meltdown. The 2002 Bug-Eye was called too cute, the Blob-Eye was too soft, the Hawkeye was too aggressive. Every new design felt like a risk that could alienate the very people who kept the brand alive. The result? Each of those controversial designs became an instant classic. Today, finding a clean, unmodified Hawkeye STI is like finding a unicorn in a haystack. This era proved the WRX wasn't just a car, it was a canvas. It was the era of the tuner, where the sound of a turbo spooling and a blow-off valve was the soundtrack of the streets. Now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the coolant on the driveway. If you own a Subaru, you've heard the jokes. Subaru, turning drivers into mechanics since 1992. The infamous EJ series engine was a masterpiece of engineering, but it had one fatal flaw that became the stuff of internet legends: the head gaskets. Imagine you've just bought your dream car. You're hitting boost, feeling the AWD grip, and then you smell it. That sweet maple syrup scent of burning coolant. Suddenly, your $3,000 reliable rally car needs a $2,500 engine teardown. For years, this wasn't just a meme, it was a rite of passage. It was the tension of every WRX owner, wondering if today was the day the white smoke would appear. But here's the thing, we fixed it. The community stepped up where the factory lagged. Multi-layer steel gaskets, better cooling mods, and the eventual move to the FA and VB engine platforms largely buried those ghosts. The head gasket era actually strengthened the community. It created a world of DIY experts who knew their cars inside and out. It made Subaru owners some of the most knowledgeable enthusiasts on the planet. Fast forward to right now. The 2026 WRX is here. Subaru has done something bold. They kept the entry price accessible. In a world where every hot hatch is pushing $50,000, the WRX is trying to stay the affordable hero. It's got a 2.4-liter turbo, 271 horsepower, and most importantly, a 6-speed manual. But there's a catch. There is no STI. Subaru officially killed the flagship. No big wing, no adjustable center diff, and no raw rally feel from the factory. Plus, we have to talk about the plastic cladding. Purists hate it. They say it looks like a crossover. They say the WRX has grown up too much, losing that jagged edge that made us fall in love with it in the first place. But then you drive it. The new VB platform is the stiffest, most capable chassis Subaru has ever built. Those plastic fenders, they're actually aerodynamic. The 2.4-liter engine, it's a tuning monster, capable of making massive power with just a few bolt-ons. When you're on a back road and the AWD claws into the pavement to slingshot you out of a corner, you realize the soul hasn't left. It just got a job and bought a better suit. It's still a Rex at heart. If you buy a WRX, you aren't just buying a car, you're joining a club. It's the Subi wave, it's the parking lot meets, it's the guy at the gas station who wants to talk about your wheel offset for 20 minutes. No other car brand has a community quite this dedicated. But being in a cult has its downsides. The WRX has a reputation. People assume you're going to vape, wear a flat brim hat, and do donuts in a Costco parking lot at 2 a.m. The vape bro stereotype is real, and it can be a lot for a new owner to handle. You have to decide, do you care what people think, or do you care about the drive? The payoff is that the community is actually the most helpful group in the car world. Need a part at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night? Someone in a local Facebook group has it. Stalled in the snow? A guy in a lifted Forester will probably pull you out before you can even call a tow truck. The WRX is a social experience. It's a car that turns strangers into friends over the shared sound of a boxer rumble. As we look toward an electric future, cars like the WRX are a dying breed. They're analog, they're loud, and they require you to actually drive them. In a world of self-driving SUVs and silent EVs, the WRX is a loud, vibrating reminder of what cars used to be. Is it perfect? No. The interior isn't luxury grade. The fuel economy is, well, let's just say you'll get to know your local gas station owner very well. And yes, people will still make head gasket jokes at your expense. The tension of owning a WRX is the trade-off between personality and perfection. But perfection is boring. The WRX is a car with flaws, and that's why we love it. It's a rally car for the everyman. It's the car that takes you to work on Monday and through a muddy trail on Saturday. It's the last of the Mohicans, and as long as there's a 6-speed manual and a turbocharger under that hood scoop, the legend of the Rex isn't going anywhere. Thanks for hanging out and talking Subis with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the WRX, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button and join the community. Drop a comment below. Are you a fan of the new 2026 look, or do you still dream of the Hawkeye STI? And don't forget to like the video if you want to see more content like this. Catch you in the next one. Keep the rumble alive.